Hey everyone, Cap from TCG Break here, bringing you my Drytron deck profile for the November 2021 format. This is a solid Tier 1 contender in our current meta, and is able to put up relatively unbreakable boards, whilst also having the ability to OTK your opponent. So with that being said, without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with the main monster lineup, I'm playing 3 copies of Drytron Alpha Thuban. Alpha is one of your best Drytron monsters in the main deck, and pretty much all of the Drytron monsters are not able to be normal summoned or set. In the case of Alpha, you are able to tribute one Drytron monster or a ritual monster from your hand or field, and special summon Alpha from your hand or graveyard in defense position. Then you are able to add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand. This is one of your best starters in the deck, as it allows you to search out a ritual monster, such as Cyber Angel Ben 10, in order to further your combos, all in an attempt to build your unbreakable board. I'm also playing 3 copies of Drytron Zeta Aldhibai. Just as with any other Drytron monster, you can tribute a Drytron or ritual monster from your hand or field, and special summon Zeta from your hand or graveyard in defense position. Then you are able to add one ritual spell from your deck to your hand. In this case, you will search out the Meteonis Drytron in order to ritual summon your Cyber Angel Ben 10, to later tribute it and benefit off of its effect, and eventually bring out the Herald of Ultimateness. And to round it out for the Drytron monsters in the main deck, I'm playing 2 copies of Drytron Delta Alteus and 2 Drytron Gamma Eltanin. When Delta is special summoned, using its effect to tribute a Drytron or ritual monster from the hand or field, you are able to reveal a ritual monster or ritual spell in your hand, and if you do, you are able to draw 1 card. This allows you to dig deeper into your deck, to further extend your plays, and further search for additional Drytron names. When Gamma is special summoned using its effect, you are able to special summon 1 Drytron monster with 2000 attack from your graveyard. This built-in Monster Reborn effect might give you the additional Drytron name in order to facilitate your Xyz summon of the Drytron Mubeta Fafnir. Additional ritual support, I'm playing 3 copies of Diviner of the Herald. This has the effect when it's normal or special summoned, where you can send 1 fairy monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and Diviner's level is increased by that monster's level until the end of the turn. Most of the time you will send a card, such as the Herald of the Arclight, in order to later use its effect in the graveyard. This would also make Diviner of the Herald a level 6, in order to overlay for the Beatrice later in your turn. Additional fairy support, I'm playing the 1 Ava and 2 Herald of the Orange Light. Ava has the effect when it's sent to the graveyard, where you can banish 2 light fairy monsters from your field and or graveyard, and add the same number of level 2 or lower light fairy monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. This allows you to search out the Diviner of the Herald, as well as the Herald of the Orange Light, in order to have a negate and or a follow-up for your next turn. And as suggested, the Herald of the Orange Light is a quick effect monster negate simply by sending it and 1 other fairy monster in your hand to the graveyard. As for the ritual monsters in this deck, I'm playing the 1 Cyber Angel Ben 10, the 1 Cyber Angel Ida 10, 1 Cyber Angel Natasha, and the 1 Herald of Ultimateness. You are able to loop the effect of Cyber Angel Ben 10 multiple times within your turn through the use of your Drytron monster effects, and it has the effect if it's tributed, where you can add 1 light fairy monster from your deck to your hand. Ida 10 has the effect if it's ritual summoned, to add a ritual spell from your deck or graveyard to the hand, and if it's tributed, you are able to make all ritual monsters you control gain 1000 attack and defense. This effect can help you beat over some of your opponent's problematic monsters with your Herald of Ultimateness. Natasha has the effect where you can gain life points equal to half of the attack of 1 monster you control. Additionally, if a ritual monster is targeted for attack, you are able to negate that attack, and if Natasha is in the graveyard, you can banish 1 Cyber Angel from your grave and target a monster your opponent controls to special summon the Natasha and take control of that targeted monster. And lastly, the Herald of Ultimateness serves as your way to negate special summons, spell or trap effects, and monster effects multiple times within a turn, simply by sending one fairy monster from your hand to the grave. Moving on to the spell card lineup, I'm playing 3 copies of Cyber Emergency. This allows you to add any of your Drytron monsters from your deck to the hand, and it has the useful effect where if its activation is negated by an opponent's card effect and sent to the grave, you are able to simply discard one card and add Emergency back to your hand. I'm also playing 3 copies of Drytron Nova. This is excellent for extending your plays if you just need one additional Drytron monster, but also serves as a great way to start your plays as well, as it allows you to special summon one Drytron monster from your deck, but it's destroyed during the end phase. Most of the time you are not concerned with that prospective downside, as you will likely tribute that special summoned monster off of your field to special summon another Drytron from your hand, and later use that Drytron's effect in the grave to be able to special summon it out and further your plays. I'm playing 3 copies of Preparation of Rites. This allows you to add one level 7 or lower ritual monster from your deck to the hand, and then add one ritual spell from your graveyard to your hand. So this can search any of your Cyber Angel monsters, as well as recur back your Medionis Drytron from the grave to further benefit off of its effect. The final Drytron spells in the deck, I'm playing one Drytron Fafnir and one Medionis Drytron. When Fafnir is activated, you can add any Drytron spell or trap from your deck to the hand, and it has the very useful effect where the activation and activated effects of ritual spell cards are unable to be negated. This of course ensures that your ritual summons go through in order to further extend your combos overall. Medionis Drytron allows you to ritual summon any ritual monster from your hand or graveyard, and you are required to tribute machine monsters from your hand or field whose attack is equal to or exceeds the attack of that ritual monster you are trying to ritual summon. It also has the effect in your graveyard where you can target one Drytron monster you control, it loses 1000 attack until the end of your opponent's turn, and you can add Medionis Drytron back to your hand. As for draw power in the deck, I'm playing 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. This deck is not heavily reliant on the extra deck overall, so you are not too terribly concerned about banishing 3 to 6 monsters face down, as Prosperity allows you to search for your potentially needed combo pieces in order to further enhance your plays overall and strengthen your end board. You are also mostly not concerned about the effect after Prosperity resolves, where any damage your opponent takes is halved, as this deck is made to go first, and your main goal is to set up a board of multiple negates that your opponent is unable to play through in order to possibly OTK them on the following turn. I'm also playing 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. Many of your Drytron monster effects will bait out hand traps from your opponent, so I believe Triple Tactics Talent is an excellent addition in this deck, as the possibility of being able to draw 2 cards allows you to further enhance your end board, or you are able to punish your opponent for activating a monster effect on your turn, using its effect to choose one card from your opponent's hand and shuffle it into their deck. And of course, if you are going second, Triple Tactics Talent still is very useful, as you can make use of its effect to take control of one monster they control in order to help break through any major interruptions they may have. And to round it out for the main deck, I'm playing the 1 Called by the Grave, the 1 Foolish Burial, and 1 Instant Fusion. Called by the Grave of course helps you protect your plays from problematic hand traps, such as Droll Lockbird, as well as Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. Foolish Burial allows you to further extend your plays, sending for example a Drytron monster to later use their effects to special summon from the grave, or send a card like Ava in order to later utilize its effect to add a card such as Diviner from your deck to the hand. And lastly, Instant Fusion is an excellent way to protect your plays from hand traps, as you can fusion summon the Millennium Eyes Restrict and combo off with little concern for what your opponent may have in their hand. Now moving on to the extra deck, I'm playing 2 copies of Drytron Mu Beta Fafnir. Mu Beta has the very useful effect when you ritual summon, where you can detach materials from it as material for that ritual summon. Also, when Mu Beta is Xyz summoned, you are able to send a Drytron card from your deck to the grave in order to benefit off of that sent monster's effect if, for example, you did not see it in your starting hand. As for the additional Xyz monsters, I'm playing the 1 Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, 1 Downward Magician, and 1 Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, Sky Thunder. In this deck, we make use of Beatrice's Quick Effect, where you can detach one material from it and send one card from your deck to the grave. This allows you to send a card such as Ava to possibly benefit off of its effect to add fairies to your hand, or simply allows you to send a Drytron monster in order to further extend your plays. You are able to Xyz summon Downward Magician using a rank 3 or lower Xyz monster you control as material, so in this case you would use the Mu Beta Fafnir to then overlay for the Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. And Zeus has the very useful Quick Effect, where you can detach 2 materials from it to send all other cards on the field to the graveyard. This allows you to control the game and serves as a sort of contingency plan if your ritual plays happen to be severely hindered during your turn. Zeus also has the fairly useful effect: if a card you control is destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effect, you are able to attach a card from your hand, deck, or extra deck to Zeus as material. You could of course attach one of your Drytron monsters in order to later detach it from Zeus and benefit off their effects in the graveyard. Additional one-ofs in the extra deck, I'm playing the 1 Millenniumize Restrict, 1 Elder Entity Entis, and 1 Herald of the Arclight. Millennium Eyes serves as a way to protect your plays from problematic hand traps. Entis is another target to send off of your Diviner of the Herald, and is also excellent to have in the extra deck if, for example, you are playing against someone that is main decking the Dogmatica Maximus, as you are able to punish them for using its effect by targeting one card on their field and destroying it. And Herald of the Arclight allows you to add 1 ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck to the hand when it is sent to the grave. So this allows you to get into a ritual monster that you might need, such as the Cyber Angel Ben 10, or Herald of Ultimateness, or simply add the Medionis Drytron from your deck to the hand. Moving on to the Link monsters, I'm playing 1 Link Karibo, 1 IP Masquerena, and 1 Nightmare Phoenix. Link Karibo is especially useful in this deck, as you are able to link off one of your Drytron monsters and then use that Drytron monster's effect in the grave in order to possibly special summon it. IP Masquerena is an excellent interruption on your opponent's turn, as you are able to quick effect Link Summon on your opponent's main phase into a Link monster such as Nightmare Unicorn, or possibly the Mech Knight Crusadia Abramax. And Nightmare Phoenix is an excellent addition to the extra deck and simply serves as a way to disrupt your opponent's back row, as when it's Link summoned, you can discard one card and target one spell or trap your opponent controls and destroy it. And to round it out for the extra deck, I'm playing 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Apollousa, Bow of the Goddess, 1 Access Code Talker, and 1 Mech Knight Crusadia Abramax. Unicorn is an excellent target to Link Summon into off of your IP Masquerena, as when it's Link Summoned, you can discard one card and target one card on the field and return it to the owner's deck. Apollousa serves as a great quick effect monster negate to stop combo-centered decks such as Dragon Link. Access Code Talker is your OTK engine, as most of the time the deck's primary goal is to set up a board of multiple negates in order to stop your opponent on their turn and follow up to end the game on your turn. And lastly, the Mech Knight Crusadia Abramax is another great target to Link Summon into off of the IP Masquerena, as if it uses IP Masquerena as material, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Additionally, your opponent cannot target Abramax with card effects, and their monsters are not able to target any other monsters for attacks except Crusadia Abramax. It also has the very useful quick effect: if it battles a special summoned monster, you can make it gain attack equal to that opponent's monster's attack during damage calculation only. And lastly, if Abramax is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, you can shuffle one card on the field into the deck. Now moving on to the side deck, I'm playing 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird. This is excellent in the mirror match, as well as against Dragon Link, as its quick effect to not allow either player to add cards from their main deck to the hand for the rest of that turn can outright end a player's turn. Additionally, I'm playing 2 copies of Artifact Lancia and 2 Nibiru the Primal Being. Lancia is excellent against the Phantom Knight matchup, as well as against more rogue decks, such as the Dinosaur matchup, as being able to quick effect tribute it from your hand or field, and stopping players from being able to banish cards for the rest of the turn, severely hinders both of those strategies. And Nibiru can also be fairly impactful, if timed appropriately, when your opponent is comboing off. Onto the spells, I'm playing 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More. Both Drytron and Dragon Link are able to put up fairly formidable boards, so Dark Ruler No More allows you to stop the many monster effect negates they may have, and it is also worth mentioning that Dark Ruler No More can become fairly useful against a deck like Virtual World, as it could be fairly important to negate a card such as Shen Shen, so that you are able to facilitate your combos in the grave. As for back row removal, I'm playing 3 copies of Lightning Storm. This is great against the Eldritch matchup, as well as more rogue decks such as Altergeist, as it forces them to respond with some of their set traps, and Lightning Storm also proves fairly flexible, as you might use its other effect instead to destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. And to round it out for the side deck, I'm playing the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster and the 1 Red Reboot. Feather Duster is just excellent additional back row disruption, and Red Reboot proves rather useful if you are able to draw into it with a card like Imperial Order in the format. So this has been my Drytron deck profile for the November 2021 format. As always, if you enjoyed the video and would like to see more like it, feel free to give us a like and subscribe. Feel free to leave any suggestions regarding changes you would make to the deck in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, until the next one, have a nice day.